Right, Allie? Allie's on the same page with me on that one.
Just remember to take your pictures, though. It is pretty cool. So I just want to talk a little bit about what I'm hearing with some of the how to get the conversation started. I guess that's what I want to say. When we're talking to people, and we'll even go over stories, because I know a lot of you have posted stories, and I'm so excited that the noise we are making in the industry already. I can tell you, I've learned a lot about collagen in a week, just from talking to people, but we are making a lot of noise. And the more people you talk to, the more we're going to learn about, how good our product is and how to compare products and stuff. So it's been really good. But when you start a conversation with somebody, it's just like you're talking to them in person when you're on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, wherever you're getting your people from. It's just like you're talking to them in person. So, excuse me, just think you would not walk up to a person and just say, want to use my collagen? I mean, you wouldn't start that way. And so some of the conversations have been at best awkward. So I want to bring it back down to, if you met your friend, let's say Bobby and I went up to the grocery store at a happy hour or the beach or something, and I saw somebody I knew, I would go up and I would say, hey, how you doing? How are the kids? How's life? There'd be a warming up period. Even if the whole time, and I can remember, I forget who Bobby and I were talking to, brought us back to when we first got involved in the industry. And when we first got involved in the industry, we had a weight loss product. And I used to go into CVS or Walgreens, like our drugstore things, and I would just be looking at people. Slim Fast was really big. Do you remember Slim Fast? And I'd see people looking at Slim Fast, knowing that that was total junk and that they weren't going to get the results, and wanting to share my product. And to the point where I'm sure I was very awkward and had terrible conversations because I was so focused on them buying my product as opposed to giving them a solution to their problem. So obviously in that case, it's very obvious. They're overweight. So their solution is that they want to lose weight. They're looking at Slim Fast. Well, here we don't even know if they're not happy with the way they look. We have no idea. And so this product really gave us a whole new avenue of people to talk to. And they're probably, I'm going to give you a hint, they're probably the people that aren't as concerned with Protandim. The people that have already bought the collagen from me are not necessarily my old Protandim customers. In fact, some of them that I went to actually said no to Protandim. They did not care what was going on the inside, but they care what's going on the outside. Now, you and I know they're going to only get better results if they use the Protandim with the collagen, but they don't see that and they don't care enough to see that. So they just want to see what's going on the outside. So when you start this conversation with somebody, you really have no idea what's going on in their mind. So at best, after you've done some general chit chat, and even if it's in your stories and they've looked on your collagen story, they've creeped on it. Maybe they've even gone so far as to say yes, or they want the video or something. You still need to go back it up and just say, have you ever used or thought about using a collagen product? You can't just jump into a conversation about our product is better because there's 10 peptides and all this stuff. You have to start to ask them, because we need to get a point of reference from where they are now. Are they thinking about looking? Have they looked at other stuff? Have they used several products? Did they not like the taste of it? Did they not see results? There's so much going on out there that if we don't ask the questions, even when they say, yes, I'm interested in what? Are you interested in knowing more? Are you interested in the product? Are you interested in buying them? We don't know. So we have to ask questions. And it may seem redundant, but our lives are so fast-paced these days that you almost have to ask the same question 2 or 3 different ways, just to make sure that we're on the same page. Because particularly when we're texting somebody, those words and those feelings get very blah. we really don't know. And so I always go back to, we should never deal in absolutes. And I go back to very early on, I learned this, somebody said they placed a big order. And you've probably heard this from me before. And our company had lots of volume back then, lots of, big purchase packages. And he wound up ordering 5 boxes of something, as opposed to what should have been to me a big order. Should have been about 5,000, not 5 boxes. But, again, my perception of what was big and his perception of big were totally different. We were in totally different places. So that's why, today, if somebody said they were going to place a big order, I would say, well, what's a big order? What are you thinking of doing? I would ask more questions and not go based on my feeling of it. And so, particularly when we deal with the science of the protandem, or we deal with all the science of the collagen, I'm glad it's there, but we have to see where they're coming from. We have to see what they're feeling and what they're thinking. And, even when you say something's expensive, it may not be expensive to them. It may be expensive to them. You just don't know. One of the best ways to handle our price is just tell them, right off the bat, it's expensive. I tell everybody in my text message, it's expensive, almost like you can't afford it. Well, as soon as I tell you you can't afford it, you want it. So even though you shouldn't be buying it, the thing with the collagen is it's going to be an impulse buy. So by keeping those stories out there again and again, they're going to buy the day they don't like the way their face looks in the mirror. And ladies, I know, because I know that, you just wake up some days and it's like a bad day. That's the day, right, Mark? That's the day you're going to buy the stuff. I mean, it's just, so we have to keep it out there. So when you go to your stories, does everybody know how to go to archives on your stories? Okay. So what you're going to want to do is go to Facebook, and you're going to see your little picture up here. You're going to see your face, your little profile picture, the little one up top here. Go ahead and click on that. You're going to see the 3 dots on this side. I'm sorry, on this side. You're going to click on the 3 dots. It says archive, and then archive stories. Now, what that's going to bring up is, it's going to bring up all your stories. Okay, you can click on any story and you'll see exactly, it'll tell you how many viewers were there and who viewed. So go back once in a while and see who's looking on your stories. Again, start that same conversation with, you don't say, hey, are you ready to buy my product? I saw you were looking on my stories, how are you doing? If you want to be so bold as to say, I've seen you on a bunch of my collagen stories, is that of something of interest to you? Do you need to know more about collagen? Do you use collagen? You need to ask a lot of questions. You can't just jump into, here's my link. Does that kind of make sense to, I don't know what kind of questions you've been getting. I can tell you what I've been getting and stuff. It seems like most people, or not most people, a lot of people are using a collagen, but they don't really know what they're using. The more questions, and that's another thing, just because they said to me they're using collagen doesn't mean I stop there. Then I'll say, is it a liquid, or is it a powder, or is it a pill? Is it plant-based? Do you know if it's plant-based? Is it bovine? Ask questions, because it's a learning time for you, but you're also educating them. There was a lady actually selling collagen today. She's like, oh, I'm so happy with my company and stuff. Turned out it was a vegan collagen. And so common sense of me not knowing, I said, so a vegan collagen, is that kind of like a protein that's a vegan protein that doesn't absorb very well? Or is that like an omega that's a plant-based? That doesn't absorb very well. So now I'm putting all this doubt in her mind. So do you see what goes on when you ask a lot of questions? You can just relate it back to the common sense part of it. And so I know she's probably on the phone with her upline, because all of a sudden she's going back and forth, and then silence. I haven't heard of things. She's probably checking it out because I put all this doubt in her mind and stuff. But these are the conversations so that you can educate yourself on our products, because we have a better product. But most people have no idea what they're taking. That much I'm convinced, because the more questions you ask, the less they know. Like how many peptides, like what amount of collagen? Where does that collagen come from? You start asking questions of people like they're like a deer in headlights. They have no idea. So this is why questions is always good. Bobby?
I'm listening to you. No. You know, this is
I probably just
really,
message more people than anybody. I don't know what I'm talking about either, but it all sounds good.
this is, you know, it's amazing. And obviously, and I can probably speak for all the men, you know, the education process with the male species it's got to be a crash course, because, you know, before this, I didn't even think guys would ever use collagen. I just thought it was a girl product. I didn't know anything about it, you know. And then when they said it came from fish, I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me it was like omega? You know, I had no clue. I mean, less than no clue. The only thing that I knew was, in general, liquid would be better absorbed than powder or pill. That was the only thing that I kind of knew. But other than that, but it's amazing. When we get off, I'm going to text you two things, but I want to show you, and I'm going to tell you right now, do not post it, okay? The company and the leadership is not posting it. They don't want to post it. This is for educational purposes, comparing I'm going to say the top 10 collagens, okay, that are out there. But we're not in the business of knocking other people's stuff, okay? We're in the business of promoting what we got and not knocking what someone else has, especially if it's a network marketing company. You never want to do that, okay? So I'm gonna, let me go to the screen and share it, so I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So this to the, let's see, to the right here is, can you see that? April, is that visible?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
sideways.
So to the right is the chart.
Yeah.
And obviously this row right here where my arrows go, and that's us. So I put these arrows pointing there. This is for individual private use. If you want to help somebody understand the difference in collagens, and obviously we check all the boxes, and a lot of these don't, okay? And the big one is we're the only activator, okay? Man, that's the winner, okay? We're the only activator. Now, as far as this other one goes over here, can you see the one with all the pictures on it? Is that visible or no?
No.
No, okay, so let me stop the share and do it again. I'll send this one out also. And you see the before and afters on this? So I left some room on the bottom. You can just go in Canva and put your own name and phone number or something on it if you want. But you know, it's got 8 or 9 testimonials on one, and it's just promoting we got a new product. It's activated liquid collagen, and you know, you can use that for, now I don't care what you do with that. You can post that. Just don't post the comparison chart. Use that for one-on-one conversations with people. And Jaya, I sent you a message. If your doctor wants that in poster form, I can send that over and we can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so besides that, I just want to take a minute and talk about follow-up, because, you know, I got an interesting text yesterday, and I would have gotten around to it, but I hadn't done it yet. Okay, but it was an Uber driver from out in Utah reached back out to me. And this lends itself right to what April was talking about. And if you don't allow yourself to get to know the person, if you don't allow yourself to get into a conversation with them and then let them take that conversation wherever they want to go, you could miss the mother load. Okay, I'm just telling you, you could miss the mother load. You know, this is a guy that he's driving Uber now. He's got about 60 days, and then he's got to decide if he wants to go back to his regular job or not. And he's got a decent job, okay? But his wife just had a baby. The wife's looking to stay home and not have to go back to work. And they got a 4-year-old and a newborn. She made him watch the videos with her, and she made him reach back out to me. She started badgering him. Did you reach out to that guy, Bob, yet? We watched the videos. I like it. I want to learn more about it. So when I called and I was texting with him over the weekend, last night actually, and I said I'd reach out today, and he gave me a window when he was available. But get into this conversation, and it went in a whole different direction than you might have thought. You know, he is open to not going back to his job in 60 days. He's open to doing something like this full time. He's open to doing this and say Uber and not go back to his job. The wife don't want to go to work. It's interesting. And I honestly, I hadn't played any of those scenarios out in my mind, never mind his wife. Okay. I hadn't thought about it. Okay. So you got to give the people, you got to get to know the people, and they will take you down the path where they want to go. Now, from what I understand, she already reached out to you, right, April?
Mhm.
So what I encouraged him to do is I said, one thing I've learned, stay out of the ladies' business. Let them just freaking talk to each other and do what ladies do. And he said, good move. I agree. He said, they'll probably go faster than we will. And I said, whatever, but the point is this, it could be any example. It doesn't matter that it was an Uber guy. We will never know what we're sitting on, who we've met, what they're doing, unless we have a real conversation with them. And April was just saying, you would never go up to somebody and just say, want to buy my collagen. Okay, you wouldn't. You find out what the heck is going on in their life. And even with advertising, even with, you know, all the different stuff that we're playing with and trying on social media and things, if we got to get into a relationship position with a person before they buy. People only buy unless they've been buying something over and over and over again, and they just buy it from a different person every time so they could save a couple bucks. Okay. I'm not talking about that scenario. I'm talking about somebody buying something new that they haven't bought before. There's two things they're going to be looking for. Okay. And one of them is, do they like you? Do you buy from people you don't like? I don't. Okay. I've said this before. I've walked out of car dealerships. I've walked out of all kinds of different places because I didn't like the person. No, I didn't like the way he behaved. I didn't like the way he approached me. I didn't like the demeanor. I've done that many times. You're gonna purchase from a person that took the time to inform you. And honestly, and this may not be fair, okay, but I'm just telling you, it's number one rule in sales and marketing is likability. Okay, a person is never going to buy from somebody that they don't like. Okay, you experienced it, Dana, the other day. Okay, and you didn't even know what was going on. Okay, you were just being Dana. Okay, you were just being yourself, and you're a likable person, and and the person said, that's why I did it. Okay, well, that's why everybody does it. Okay, they like the person, either the way the person treated them or the way the person made them feel. Okay, they like that. So we can't just hit them over the head with, you want to buy my collagen. Now, these before and after pictures, and I can only imagine what they're going to look like a month from now, because you're going to have some people getting 1 month results. Others are going to be on their second month results. There may come a time when those before and after pictures just absolutely blow people's minds. And they're going to do what April said. They're just going to freaking buy it. Okay. It's going to be an impulse. They're going to look in the mirror one day. Their head's going to have a bunch of zits on it. They ain't going to like the way they look, and they're just going to buy. Okay. And that's probably going to happen, and happen a lot. But we don't have enough of those before and afters. You know, once we got hundreds or thousands of them, that'll probably end up happening. So, April?
The other thing I want to caution you, as you're asking questions, I had a gentleman earlier send me a picture. He was on one of my stories. I commented, you know, and he was already using a collagen product. So I asked him what he was using the collagen for. Because again, common sense, I didn't know that a man would be, he could have wanted just for looks, but you know, I kind of thought maybe there might be more to it, joint pain or because, you know, collagen to different people also means different things. So it turns out he's a CrossFit guy. And he sent me a picture of all the products he's taken. I did not continue to sell collagen to him because he'd never heard about Protandim. So sometimes we have to switch pathways based on who we're talking to, you know, because he had a whole counter full of stuff. I didn't even look that closely, a lot of stuff. So, you know, if he hears about Protandim, he'll be that much more blown away. And then maybe I'll upsell him to the collagen. But sometimes we need to switch based on their needs also. So that's why asking all these questions is so powerful.
You want to open it up, April?
Yeah.
So you can, if you have any questions, ideas, obviously we're the last 4 days, you know, the pay period. Check your numbers and see where you are with rank advancing, or at least matching your previous last high rank, you know, whatever it is. We do have free shipping through the end of the month. You got that notice on 150 points. What else is there, April?
The 16th, July 16th.
July 16th. Everybody's got to get themselves registered. As far as anybody's interest in Florida, the company tried to get us to go, where'd they want us to go? Kansas City. They tried to get us to go to Kansas City in July, and we kind of made an arrangement with them that we don't want to be traveling 2 months in a row on LVAs. We want to, if anything, it'll be every other month. But, you know, I mean, I appreciate them asking us. That's nice, but we want to build Florida, in particular, Central Florida. And 2 months in a row to me is just not acceptable. So we will be, for any of you that care or want to bring guests or whatever it is, we will be in Orlando in July. We will be in Kansas City in August. I just said you can book us for there in August, but we'll be in Orlando. And I talked to Jackie and Jennifer. They've committed to bringing guests. April and I are going to have personal guests there. So no more LVAs without guests, folks, period. No more, okay? If you're virtual, I guess you're virtual, but try and at least have some people in your house to watch it with you. But if you're attending one, bring people with you. You know, this collagen thing's yet another door opener. You know, it's another angle. So anyway, get registered for whatever one makes the most sense to you. And I know, as far as Florida goes, obviously there'll be an LVA in Orlando in August. And then the end of July, what was that, Kenneth, the 27th or 28th? What's the date for Tampa? Is it 27 or 28, something like that? The end of August, the company is going to be doing an event in Tampa. So for those in Florida, just keep that in mind. I think that was a Saturday too, if I'm not mistaken.
Saturday, August 27th.
It is a Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's 27th.
So there'll be 2 events in August in Florida. There'll be the LVA, the regular LVA in Orlando, and then Saturday, August 27th. Again, we got some time with that, and we'll be coordinating with Kenneth, but we want to make the most of that. You know, we want to make that a big event. We want to have guests at that. We want to maybe do something social afterwards, either the night before or lunch after, like we do. Orlando, we always do lunch afterwards, always. Okay. Matter of fact, I was, when April and I got back from Denver, we strongly encouraged the company to start making that part of the program, because a lot of these folks that come to meetings, they never ever get a chance to talk to the people they really want to talk to. And we've encouraged, you know, people to just, hey, it's over at 1, but then if there's something right there local, you know, go to lunch from 1:30 to 3 or something like that, and give people a chance to socialize and get their guests around other people that they can talk to. Because the LVAs, they're 4 hours, but your guests really aren't getting a chance to talk to anybody. It's 4 hours of training, you know, and, you know, breaking bread is the best way to get people talking. So, but what do you got? Anyone questions on anything in regards to anything? What do you got?
I have a question. I had someone asking me about the product, but she's a vegetarian, and with the oils, how would you promote people that are vegetarians with this?
It's just not, it's just.
I don't, I don't
It's
know.
not
That's
what
why
it
I'm
is.
asking.
It's not, it's not a vegetarian product. I mean, it's from fish.
Okay.
It's just not, I mean, if there was a way of masking it, disguising it, if you're asking me what I would do, I would say
Yeah.
the benefits of using it far outweigh the fact that you being concerned about it being vegetarian with some collagen coming from some fish. Okay, I would say the benefits far outweigh, but that's me, and I would speak like that to somebody, okay? If
Mhm.
that's not your style, the fact, it's just, it's not a vegetarian product. April, you got anything?
Almost, too, before you get to that point, ask her, are you vegan for health reasons, or is it a political stance, or find out where they're coming from, It may be that they feel healthier with a plant-based diet and would be open to taking the product anyway. And she may have just asked that question. But again,
Yeah.
you didn't ask enough to find out why she said that.
Okay.
I'm a
That's all.
vegetarian, okay?
Uh-huh.
I cannot
right.
even stand the sight of fish. But I know when you remove the peptides separately, I know I'm not having that muscle or anything of the fish. It's the peptides are just the proteins which are extracted out. The same goes with omega. It comes from fish, but it's the fatty acids which are being removed. So I don't care if there is anything else. It's not that I'm against killing animals or anything, but I'm not used to. That's why I don't.
Yeah.
There may be many people, if you tell them that this is the protein is extracted out of the fish, it's actually not the other fish parts you are eating, but it's just the one of the protein that is being taken out, whatever peptides. I think many people would probably agree to taking it. That's-
Jay, I'm recording this and I'm going to take that clip since you're a physician and give that recording to Cheryl and see if we can help her out.
Yeah. Because I
That
got
was
a lot of
awesome,
friends that are vegetarian, so this will help big time. Thank you, Jaya.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Come on, if you're thinking it, someone else is thinking it. What else you got?
I'll be in Puerto Rico, so if you know anybody who has relatives in Puerto Rico, let me know.
Is
I'm
that for the
gathering
LVA, July 16th? Same?
July 16.
Okay,
And it's going to be in a very centric place with is the attorneys, the lawyers association. There's parking, it's easy to access and get there. So there's no excuse that that they live out town is they can find it. Everybody knows where is that at.
great. Where else were they going? Oh, Northern California's got one this time too, right, Lynn? Pat, I don't know if you weren't there, but
Yeah.
get the word out. Is it Sacramento or is it somewhere else?
I don't know where in Sacramento, but it's Sacramento.
Okay, but and it sounds like it's going to be back live every month. There it was the sounds of it, but
They were trying.
okay. So, yeah, we got to start, look, for those of you that, that were in Utah, the benefits of in person and, granted, everything's changed and it's different than it used to be, but you still get tremendous benefit out of people being together as people, and I love Zoom and this is a great way to do business all over the world, but, I'd still rather be having a cocktail or lunch with one of you in person. I would still rather be doing that. So, and I think most people feel that way. I think we're wired to be around other people. That's how we're wired. So.
I have one question, Bob. Anytime we have anything above $150, the shipping is always free, isn't it? It's only
No,
below.
No, only subscription, not spot orders.
No,
So
not
here's
spot order.
here's how you get around it, okay? Everybody write this down because I don't want to hear your stuff, okay? You set it up as a subscription. And then after it goes out, you just go in and cancel it.
Yeah,
That's all you do, okay? Is set it up as a subscription, and then when it goes out, go back in and cancel it. And you don't have to go right in the next day. You got 30 days, you know, before it would go out again. But trust me, either stick it on your bathroom mirror so you don't forget, or put
Yeah.
an alarm in your phone, because it will go out again if you don't cancel it. And trust me, we have done it, and that has happened to us, okay, where it's just gone out again. And not always to us. Sometimes somebody got free product, okay,
Yeah.
so.
I've
But
done that too.
that's
And
all
also
you do,
can
just
change
set
that
it up
delivery date.
as if it's a subscription, and then just go back in and cancel it, and that takes care of that.
You can push out the delivery date as well in a subscription. If you don't think it'll be quite that much, you can push that out a week or so for people to make a decision.
Well, you
Particularly-
can do that too. I don't like to delay a sale when it's,
Right.
when it's ready to go, it's ready to go.
I understand that,
Yeah, I don't, you know, what, in some of those
rather than
cases,
canceling, was my point.
yeah, in some of those cases, April and I have filled the order that day, placed the subscription order, and had it shipped back to us. That way it went in new, everybody got what it was there. Maybe I spent a couple dollars on, you know, on shipping to mail something to somebody, but you know, if they, especially now, because we're 10 days in between now, that's really only an issue at the end of the month before the next one. Okay, because that's 10 or 11 days after the 25th, before the 5th comes up. So once you get to the 5th, yeah, you can probably give it, you know, to the 10th or the 15th, depending. You only got a few days in between, so. April?
Yeah,
you got
sometimes they
anything?
didn't get it right away, was, you know, by the time the shipping came or they
Yeah,
weren't there,
yeah.
like that. So we've had to do that a couple of times.
Anyone else? Did we cover everything that was different or new, or